Hey everybody, how's it going? Bill Butler here with Leading Edge Real Estate in the Melrose area. And I am here with Christine McKinley joining us from
Orlando, Florida.
yeah.
Sunny Orlando, Florida. I wish I had a window to show you, but it's beautiful. It's 81 degrees right now.
We're going to take your word for it. Now, actually, Christine, I got to tell you today, I don't know if you can see out our little window of the world here in the Boston area. It's 60 degrees here.
That's great, right?
60 degrees. We're going to the beach, man. We are going out.
Yeah, Floridians would be head to toe. We would need a parka. We would need boots for all of that 60-degree weather.
And boy, do we feel sorry for you.
We're ridiculous, yeah.
Cool. So what are we doing here, Christine?
Okay, so there, especially around this time of year, there's a good amount of people that are looking to move from your area to my area. And we're just kind of thinking, you know, how can we give value? How can we touch base with those people, help them decide where to start? I mean, if they've never been to Florida and they just kind of heard of this is kind of a dream for them, or maybe they vacationed here once or twice and it was just amazing when they were here, where can they start? So we wanted to come with a monthly series about snowbirding, and we turned it into a verb. It's the act of being a snowbird.
Yes, it is. Snowbirding 101, our monthly series here. We're going to dive deep into where people are going in Florida, the differences between the transactions, things you need to keep a lookout for when you're making these moves, and because it's obviously very different landscape, very different architecture in the Florida area. And then we'll be interviewing experts in those particular areas throughout Florida on kind of where the hot places are, where you can find the best value and whatnot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It'll be really good. I think that this will really help people bring in a lot of information. And if anybody has any questions along the way, just go ahead and chime in. That's why we want to do these live videos, because we want to help answer the questions along the way that come up.
All right. So I think we were just hidden for about 3/4 of that intro.
What?
But I think now people can actually see us.
Okay.
But we'll see. We are figuring this out as we go along from a technology perspective.
Which is always fun.
I don't know if it was just the chyrons that people can see now, if it was our faces, but we'll find out once we upload this.
Yeah.
So cool. So Christine, you're in the Orlando area, Central Florida.
Yeah.
Tell us kind of, up here in the Boston area, especially in and around Melrose, it's still very much a seller's market. People are getting bidding wars if they put their home on the market properly priced, 5 to 10 offers, especially in Melrose area, and things sell within a weekend. How are things going in the Orlando area?
Well, your market sounds very fun, very interesting. Ours is a little bit different. I would say we are definitely still in a seller's market. However, that is changing little bit by little bit. What we're seeing is there isn't a huge difference between home values this time of year versus 1 year ago exactly. So year over year, we didn't change a lot from last year, which is different. Since 2011, we've just been increasing at this insanely high rate, 7%. And now, that's one thing we're having to talk to about people is realistically, are you going to get that 7% increase year after year that you've been getting? So we're kind of stabilizing. We're becoming what is called a normal market, which is a really good thing. So yes, still a seller's market. We are running into multiple offers here and there if it's, again, priced correctly and marketed really well. There's some hot spots in the area that will go a little bit quicker. And then, we do have that second home market because we have Disney. So that's a completely different ballgame as well.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear. It's a little bit more buyer friendly down there than it is up here, which is the point of kind of what we're doing here. So that's good to hear. Tell us a little bit, out of the people that you see moving out from out of the area to Orlando, like what's bringing them to the Orlando area?
So definitely the sunshine. We do have a lot of people coming down here. It's every time I have a buyer consultation with them, they're just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the cold. And usually maybe they had family vacations down here, or maybe at one point a relative had a condo down here, had a house down here. So they're definitely coming this way. A lot of them, your area, New York, a lot of people. Really, they're looking for a variety of things. A lot of times they see the pool homes online, so they're looking for a pool, and then some of them are just looking for like a vacation rental. We have actually a lot of those around the Disney area, and it's called a hotel condo. So you own it, just like you would own a regular condo, but they're fully furnished. You purchase them fully furnished. And then there is an on-site property manager that takes care of absolutely everything, and you just collect money, and then you come in and you can use it whenever you want. So that's completely different than a lot of other markets. So it's a variety. The weather's bringing people in, and then, you know, especially in Orlando, we are 45 minutes from the beach. We are, depending where you're at, we're close to Disney. So it's really whatever you want to make it.
Right, right.
You know?
It's funny you say 45 minutes from the beach, because when I think Orlando, and I've been a few times with the family, I don't think that at all. Like I think I'm like at least an hour and a half to 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who live in the Boston area are at least 45 minutes away from the beach.
Yeah. So Orlando is really diverse. We have, of course, downtown, we have the city, we have all of that stuff. And then there's actually a rural boundary between Orlando and the beach. So it's funny because when you're driving to the beach, you're going through the country and it's beautiful. There's these houses on anywhere between 5 to 500 acres. So that's kind of the cool part. And then once you get to the beach, it's city again. But our beaches, they aren't, besides Daytona Beach, they aren't really commercial. They're very residential. They're very homey. So that brings a lot of people to Orlando too, because when they do go to the beach, it's not spring break. It's relaxing, and it's condos, and it's live music, and it's margaritas and all of that.
Now I'm starting to get jealous.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Really rubbing it in.
But you know, we do have, we really just have everything. I'm kind of biased, but you know, around the Disney area, we've got a lot of golf courses and like boat clubs and stuff like that. So people just really make the most of Florida when they're here. We have year-round perfect weather.
Cool. And then tell me, we didn't talk about this in our little show prep, but thinking about like Airbnb, like how is that model working down there? The VRBO, Airbnb type rental model.
Yeah. So one of the big differences, I think we talked about this previously, was Orlando's very like neighborhoody, right? So you don't just walk down a street and all of a sudden there's houses. Like we have lots of gated communities. So each community is going to be different with their HOA rules. A lot of homes here have HOA. They're pretty low. It can be anywhere from like $100 to the year for the year to $1,000 to the year for a single family home. So the Airbnb market's going to be different because usually in those gated communities, you can't do that. Now, as far as if people are looking to come down and to be true snowbirds and come down while it's cold up there and 81 degrees down here, they would definitely want to talk to an agent who has worked with that kind of a market before to make sure that they're buying a home that can be rented out in the short term. Because again, those gated communities are not going to allow short-term rentals. And in our market, that's a year and less.
Okay. So that makes sense. Kind of like up here, and you know, where it's allowed and where it isn't. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, you just have to be careful. You have to get, you know, use your due diligence period to get those documents and make sure that you're buying what you think you're buying.
Okay.
Good. Short term.
Okay, cool.
It's a really good point.
Talk about kind of where the hottest places to be, you know, in and around. What's the latest and greatest right now in Orlando, and then kind of what a 3-bedroom, you know, 1.5 bath, 2 bath, 1,500 square foot property would cost.
Okay, so in Orlando, we still have land, so people are still building. So what's really popular right now is new construction. You can either bring in your own builder, but what's more popular than that is doing a semi-custom home. So the builder has the whole floor plan, has everything ready to go, and you just pick your finishes, and it's beautiful. Now, of course, you are paying a little bit top dollar here in Orlando. The average price point on that is around $450. Now, if you're buying resale, you can definitely get something like what you're talking about with the pool. Really nice, still really nice, just maybe not brand new, maybe built in the 80s or 90s, which is probably still new compared to you.
That's new up here is anything built after the war.
Yeah, okay, so this is all new construction down here in Orlando. Come on down. But yeah, I mean, a 3-2, really nice, with a pool, $350.
Okay, all right, nice.
Yeah. And I mean, even these like hotel condos, you can get them for around $200.
Wow, that's and so I'm curious, like the appreciation at those hotel condos versus a regular condo. Is it about the same, or is it less, or how does it?
It's a little bit less.
Yeah.
It is, just because the average person, they're harder to sell. They sit on the market a lot longer. Some of them can sit on the market for a year, just because that's a very specific buyer. And also it's just so hands off that, you know, you have to pay someone for that. So their HOA fees are usually higher. Now, these hotel condos, they come completely furnished. The property management company takes over everything. You literally just collect a check. And so, you know, when your guests check in, your guests check out, you're not involved in that process at all. So it is really nice. You do pay for it though, but it is really nice, of course.
I think, yeah, for the right buyer who's just looking for something super turnkey.
Yeah.
And it's definitely more efficient in terms of cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to worry, you know, they're taking care of that type of thing.
Yeah. Now, these new construction neighborhoods, there's a lot of them, and they're all around Orlando. And some of them are built within, like, there's an area called Lake Nona, and it's our medical city. And Lake Nona is kind of close to the airport. It's kind of between like the airport and Disney, and a lot of it is new construction, beautiful homes. And it is built in a way that it's creating its own community. They encourage like golf carts versus vehicles to get around. They've put kind of like a mini city center. So there's a really cool restaurant there. So we have those kinds of new construction where it's very like all inclusive. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then we have new construction in more of like our up and coming neighborhoods that are built in older areas that don't have that. But you're always close to a golf course. You're always close to Disney. You're always close to the beach. So you really can't go wrong.
Cool. So either whether you're north, south, east, or west of downtown, you're still pretty close. You're not dealing with a ton of traffic to get to the beach and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Cool, cool. So where else in Florida are you hearing that people are kind of snowbirding or migrating to?
Well, when I think of snowbirding, I really do think of the Gulf Coast, so our West Coast. And I think that's for a number of reasons. We have beautiful places like Naples, which is your more high end. You have more affordable areas like St. Pete, but you know, it's gorgeous over there. And it's very, very residential. You're not getting these huge high rises where no one behind you can see the beach. A lot of the beaches have public access, so it's just very accessible. St. Pete is probably one of the most common snowbirding areas just because of how affordable it really is. You can be blocks from the beach for $300,000, which is really, really nice. And St. Pete's St. Pete's beautiful. You're close to Tampa, so you've got lots of amenities over in Tampa. And then St. Pete's kind of like the quiet little beach town. That's what I think of. That's accessible to places. And that's about 90 minutes from Orlando. So even if you did have, you know, the grandkids or family into town, you can still take a day trip to Disney. On the East Coast, we'll have like Cocoa Beach, again, very residential, Cape Canaveral, where all of your cruises are headed out of, you know, spaceships are launching out of. We've got it all.
Your SpaceX
travelers. More. Yeah, SpaceX. And then, you know, we have Jacksonville, which is also amazing. There's lots going on in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a growing community, and it is right on the beach too, Jacksonville Beach. I mean, the opportunities are really endless. But when I do think of snowboarding, I do think of the West Coast. So I think of that Naples, Fort Myers, Siesta Keys, gorgeous, Tampa, St. Pete area.
Okay. Yeah. And we've got, I know a lot of people from Boston area like to go down to Fort Myers because the Red Sox spring training is down there. And so we've been down there a bunch and into, what are the islands there? Captiva.
Yep. There's Siesta Keys down there, Captiva Islands down there. But the good news is that we're going to get an agent in those areas on this show.
So talk about upcoming episodes, what our focus is going to be. Snowbirding 101.
Yeah. So we'll have agents that can dive a little bit deeper into each of those communities, which I think that's going to be lots of value. Because, you know, I'm Orlando, so I think I'm kind of the central hub of Florida. That's how I feel anyways. I'm like 5 hours from anything. But it will be really awesome when we can get agents who are in those areas working, especially in Fort Myers. That'd be great, working with people coming directly from your area and connecting them with an agent who can show them around.
Yeah,
what's the best buy.
One of our goals here is to really connect people with true experts in each particular area, wherever people are looking to go. If anyone has any questions or would like to reach out to you, Christine, what's the best way?
They can email me. They can email me at christinesellsorlando@gmail.com. We can put it in the comments too. That's fitting. I'm in Orlando, so easy to remember. Definitely email me, and then we can get connected on the phone. I love to have consultations with people, especially if maybe you haven't been here a couple times. We definitely like to know what you do for fun, what you do on the weekends. That way we can kind of help navigate you to your idea of what snowboarding is, because I know that looks different for everybody. Sometimes that's golf, sometimes that's boating, sometimes it's just, you know, sitting on the beach and watching the sunset. So there's something for everybody. Okay,
great. And then we'll be doing the same up here. We'll be talking to different agents in the Massachusetts area. We're going to branch out to New York, kind of give updates of what those markets are like. And so we can kind of speak to people of kind of everyone in the Northeast, and then eventually, you know, branch out to the Midwest and whatnot.
Yeah.
To get kind of perspective of what's going on up here for those considering either, you know, making the snowbirding, which is kind of the temporary headed down for the winter and then coming back up here, or some of those just want to cut the cord entirely.
You're ready. You're ready to make it.
And head on down, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. Sure.
We've got great school zones. You know, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to move.
Awesome. Well, Christine, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm psyched.
Yeah, this is going to be really great. We are very excited. And again, any questions, anything you guys really want to hear, just where to get started, comment below. We'd love to have an entire episode on it, and ask away any questions that you have.
absolutely. We'll have my information as well. Until next month, we'll also be posting. We'll kind of promote the day and time, but we're looking at maybe the second Friday or so of each month, right around midday here, around noonish.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Christine.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Everybody, thanks for watching. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.